All right. Well, I'm incredibly happy to be here. Thank you, Jody, for your trust, and everybody for um, the work that you're doing to cleanse and clear yourselves, to optimize your bodies, to optimize your minds, to energize yourselves, to elevate yourselves, so that who you can be in the world is the beacon of energy and consciousness that we really need, right now on this planet. And my goal today is going to be to take you through some processes. I'll guide you through a kind of meditation, visualization experience, and then I'll take you into some very simple but very powerful Qi Gong kind of practices to just open up the whole system. If we think about what the physical body is, we live in a universe that is really all energy. I mean, it's less than 4% of the entire universe is considered physical matter, and even that physical matter at the subatomic level is energy, right? So here you have this matrix of energy all around us, this matrix of energy within us, and literally everything that manifests and is created in life is created out of energy and consciousness. So we elevate the energy and we have more energy flowing and available, and we have increased awareness, and we connect into different dimensions and different aspects of consciousness, which allow a different creation to happen, which couldn't have happened. Like, you cannot boil water if you don't hit a certain threshold. You can't boil it at 210 degrees Fahrenheit. It has to be 212. At that point, it begins to rapidly boil and become vapor. And now it's still H2O, but it's a totally different form. And the same thing happens when you freeze it, right? It's still H2O, 2 hydrogens and an oxygen, or 2 oxygens and a hydrogen, whatever. Yeah, 2 hydrogens and oxygen. It's still the same structure, but you drop it down below 32 Fahrenheit, and now it's a solid. And so the idea here is to elevate the energy so that anything that feels solid and dense and hard and heavy and anchored into emotions, thought forms, beliefs, past traumas and experiences that you're still kind of holding in a dense way in your system can be vaporized and can just be no longer relevant, because you're not referencing that heaviness and density, because the system is open and in flow. So you're cleansing, and you're not just cleansing the body physically, you're cleansing the system on every level, mentally, emotionally, and energetically and spiritually. Everything is opening up. So my objective right now is just to help you do that with more grace and more ease and more joy, as whatever is no longer working can just fall away, poop away, sweat away, however it needs to move out. It just let's get things moving. So my background is, for the past 27 years, I have been working with people. I started out as a chiropractor, still have a license as a chiropractor, and then had a practice for 2 decades with my wife, where we saw in Northern California, where we saw like 100 people a day. We had like 6 tables going and like this whole thing happening. And as we were working with people, we were working more and more energetically as we evolved, because we recognized that what shows up in the physical body is a culmination of what's happening in the field, what's happening in the energy body, what's happening in the subtle, consciousness that's kind of running in the subconscious or unconscious, physical, mental, emotional, chemical events that happen. What you're doing, a big chemical dump right now, chemical detox, as the body's purging and clearing all this stuff that's built up. So with that comes a shift in the whole cellular and energetic system. So what we found over the years in working with people, it just didn't matter really what went in. I mean, it's different things manifest differently depending on what the triggers are, but whether it's emotional stress, whether it's a physical injury, whether it's a chemical stress on the body still goes into fight or flight. It still holds energy. It still binds up. Tension still gets generated in the muscles and the tendons and the spinal cord. It gets like everything starts binding up, and it's bound up energy in your body, literally, is what we experience as physical tension and pain. So, you know, doing detoxes and doing cleanses just starts clearing all that, but it also is a big discharge emotionally, and it's a big discharge psychologically, and it opens up the channels to receive more. So I'm gonna just take you into some processes right now to help you in that receiving more energy and dissipating and discharging more energy, so it doesn't have to hold in your bodies, and it doesn't have to stay anchoring you to any kind of past, tethering you to any kind of reality that no longer is serving you. And we'll just kind of turn up the energy so that we hit a threshold where everything becomes more effortless and flows and is more easy and is more awesome. So I know it's different times, you're in different time zones, and you can just adapt these processes as we go. The Qi Gong is typically done, it can be done anytime throughout the day, but oftentimes when we do it in the evening, it's very energizing. So if it's like doing it right before bed, you might just be laying there just charged up. So you can adapt it and just be more gentle and slow things down if it's you're on the East Coast or you're in Europe or wherever you are. But I'm going to start with a guided meditation just to get you guided through your energy system, and then we'll go right into the Qi Gong, and I'll just for that I'm going to actually ask you if you can stand up. So I'll start with a seated meditation here, and then we'll go into a standing process for the Qi Gong. So before we go into that, I should just check in with everybody. Jody, check in with you and just see where we're at. Do we have any questions or anything that anybody wants to ask before we get started? All right. So let's go ahead and just put on that background music, and then we'll go for it. And I'm just going to have we'll just get started. It'll come in when it comes in. So just find a comfortable position, seated, and feel your sit bones on the chair underneath you. Feel your spine straight. Imagine a little thread of energy pulling up from the top of your crown that's just kind of holding your hair at the top of your crown, just upward, a little filament of energy pulling up, all the way up through to the infinite above. And as you feel your feet, wherever they may be, if they're under you or if they're on the ground, feel the bottoms, the soles of your feet, and just feel a cord of energy just dropping down all the way down through the floor. Even if you're in a high-rise building, send it down through all the way through all the floors, into the foundation, all the way down, all the way down into the earth. And as you send that cord, that grounding cord, all the way down into the earth, send it all the way down through the layers of bedrock and through the miles and miles of the earth's mantle, all the way into that deep epicenter, into that molten magma core of the earth, where it's pure energy, heat energy. And with that feeling of that support, that connection into the earth through your legs and through the pelvis area, and feel your spine elongating and straightening up, and this thread of energy just pulling your head and your crown up so that your whole spine just hangs effortlessly from that top of your crown. Imagine and see each of the vertebrae just as they're stacked on top of each other. They're not physically linked, they're floating one on top of each other. And the space in between is filled with a crystalline kind of matrix of energy that's flowing. Nothing is solid. And as you focus on that space within, I think Jody would just turn the music off because it's doing something weird. So we can just focus on, there we go. So we can just focus on the stillness and the quiet. And as you see this kind of your spine just floating and the vertebra just floating, begin to feel the edges of your body, your skin, where your skin meets the space around you, or what it appears like space when we're in our mind, when we're in our thinking mind and focusing on the inside being solid and the outside being space. Rather than focusing on the space around you, focus on the energy around you, so that rather than the air touching your skin being space touching something solid, feel the skin as just this little layer, this gridded matrix of energy that goes about a 1/4 inch underneath the skin and about a 1/4 inch over the skin, and that's the etheric body or the life force body. And it's like a hologram that covers and integrates through your whole entire body. And as you focus on that glowing, it can be white or yellow, sometimes bluish, sometimes red, this glowing matrix of energy that's covering and integrating through and around your whole entire body. Take a breath in. And as you let it out, just feel that that gridded matrix of energy is like an interface between the infinite space within you and the infinite space around you that is filled with pure energy. If you could extract the energy in 1 cubic centimeter of the vacuum, that's what appears like space around you, it would be all of the energy and information of the entire universe plus. You literally are in a sea of energy, and your body is like the touch screen on a device like an iPhone or something, where you access the cloud through this interface of your body. And as your spine floats and your body becomes lighter, and the awareness of this grid of energy gets brighter in your awareness, in your consciousness, breathe in and feel the spaciousness and the expansiveness within you. And then bring your attention around you and bring your awareness out into that field, and continue to allow your awareness to expand further and further beyond the illusion of the edge of your body into the field, further and further beyond, leaving the awareness of the room you're in, the building you're in, the city and the atmosphere, beyond the earth, beyond the moon, all the way past the sun, all the way out beyond the galaxy, moving outward in your awareness, allowing any structure, any solidity to melt away, so that you're in the space of pure, expanded spaciousness in which all the energy of the universe is available. The limitless possibility of pure awareness. Breathe in, Let it out, and as you let it out, just begin to bring your awareness back closer, back into the galaxy, back through this, past the sun, back through the orbits of the planets and past the moon and all the way back till you see the Earth moving into the atmosphere of the Earth, down to the city you're in, to the neighborhood and building you're in, all the way down through until you see that glowing matrix of that etheric or life force body that is an aspect of you, this infinite being that has an organizing life force energy that is keeping all the cells moving and alive, handling the reproduction of the cells, elimination, the immune system, the heart beating, the lungs working, all of those things that are just happening innately. And then begin to bring your awareness down through and reconnect into that life force grid, and feel as your consciousness and awareness comes back into that grid, feel it light up and brighten as you bring infinite awareness into that life force energy. And then command that life force energy to rise up from the earth, through your feet, through your legs, through your pelvis. And as it gets to your pelvic floor, see and feel this bright, glowing ball of white light, that Muladhara, first chakra, that first energy center, grounding, connecting as we incarnate into this physical body, and the energy organizes into a physical form connected to the element of earth. Feel it, smell it, like you're smelling this moist, fresh earth. Feel it as this glowing ball of energy. And then draw that energy up your spine and see it going up this central channel, a tube of energy, a column of energy as it comes up your spine, moving through the, just below the navel, just behind your sacrum, that second chakra. And then up through the third, piercing up through this solar plexus area, and then continuing to travel this bright, vivid, clear channel of light and energy traveling up through your solar plexus, then through your heart, continuing to move up through your throat, and feel it piercing through the throat, and then all the way up through into that area just behind your eyebrow area, that ajna or sixth chakra, the area connected into that insight, that knowing, that intuition, that's getting clearer and clearer as you're doing this cleanse, as you're clearing away the density and you're clearing away all of the heaviness, and you're opening your consciousness and your awareness to these higher aspects and higher dimensions. Feel it come into that part of your center of your eyebrows, and then drop that energy back down, all the way back down through your spine, through the central channel, all the way down into your pelvic floor, down your legs into the earth. And then bring your attention to the top of your crown, the top of your head, and bring your awareness back out off of your body, beyond the building you're in, and back out into the atmosphere and beyond the atmosphere, and open that channel and allow this receiving of this flood of energy from the infinite universe as it begins to pour down through your crown, as the universe itself begins to involute upon itself and starts to pour down. It becomes this white, kind of milky filaments and charges of energy that are soft and filled with grace, absolute purity and clarity, pouring down through your crown and washing down through the top of your head and washing down through your entire body, igniting and lighting the life force energy of your body, that gridded matrix, with pure grace and peace and ease and flow, so that every function of your body is connected and guided by the universal flow and universal rhythm that is so absolutely effortless, because we are it and it is us. Take a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, feeling that wash of energy all the way down through your entire body. And now begin to bring your awareness to your hands and your arms and your feet. Wiggle your toes a little bit, wiggle your fingers as you come into more awareness of the physical aspect of your body, because now we're going to take our hands and put them in prayer position, gently pushing your palms together in front of you. And with your palms pushing together, we're going to start from this space within the experience of being within the body. Now, the interesting thing about within and without is that it's all one. And this entire universe is a holographic fractal of itself, which we're a little fractal. In a hologram, there is infinite amount of holes. So you can cut a hologram in half and you'll have 2 holes. You can cut it into 4 parts and you'll have 4 holes. And I say holes by HOLE. As many times as you cut a true hologram apart, you have a smaller and smaller version of the whole. And we are that. And we're also a fractal. And a fractal is the same patterning that's repeated over and over into smaller and smaller and smaller organizations, but it's the same pattern over and over. So we have an infinite holographic and fractal nature in our cells, in our being, in our consciousness. And we're going to do a practice here of going all the way out into the infinite field as like a fractal hologram. And we're going to go all the way into the infinite field within as a fractal hologram. When you bring your awareness in, as you're pushing your palms gently together, you will bring your awareness all the way into the interior of your being and body. And as you go deeper and deeper in, expand and get lighter and brighter and larger, like you're opening into a space that opens just as expansively within as it does without. And then as we go out, we're going to expand our awareness and let it unfold further and further and further out into the field and the infinite universe around us. Both directions are the same, just a different orientation. So as you bring your hands together and palms together, and you breathe in through your nose, I want you to open your palms and let your arms lift out and up so that your palms are facing forward, but opening into that field all around you. Breathing in and expanding your consciousness and awareness beyond your body, beyond this earth, beyond the stars, beyond the galaxies, way out into the infinite spaciousness and expansiveness of the wholeness. And as you breathe out through your nose, you're going to come together and your palms come together. And I want you to send your awareness deep within. But as you go deep within, you unfold into the interior spaciousness and expand further and further in, further and further in, letting it unfold and seeing it light and bright and opening within. And then we're going to breathe in, arms come up, expanding your awareness and reaching further and further into the field all around you, beyond. See yourself disappearing as you go further and further and further out beyond the physical body and beyond. And from that infinite, far out in the galaxies, come back in and bring your awareness down, 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 down through that life force gridded matrix and into the interior, and further and further and further and further into that interior. As you go deeper and deeper and expanding more, it gets brighter and lighter and bigger and expand until it's all space and energy within. And then you come back out and breathe in. Expanding your hands out, 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 out. Let yourself travel and unfurl this spiraling holographic expansion into the infinite field around. And then as you breathe out, come back to hands in prayer position. And then bring your hands down to your sides. And take an inventory. Bring your attention, your awareness to this glowing matrix of white, golden, or bluish or reddish or orangish energy that's in that etheric or life force matrix that's just gridded into your whole physical body, that's shaping like a hologram your whole physical body. And then bring your awareness a little further out from your life force body as you move into the field. There's an amorphous layer like colors and washes of kind of swirling energy that's tied more into your emotional body. And as you let your awareness come a little further out, you get to another gridded layer of energy that looks kind of like or feels kind of like this smooth, when everything's flowing, a smooth, coherent kind of grid of, can be golden or whitish energy. And then bring your awareness even further. Now you're about 2.5 feet off your body. Now you're connected into the field of energy that ties into your heart. Bring your awareness to the physical heart, and then the awareness about 2.5 feet off your body of this beautiful kind of toroidal flow, which is this donut shape of energy that's going through the front and back of your physical heart, like a funnel. 2 tornadoes or 2 gentle vortexes streaming and meeting, and the point meets right in the center of the physical heart. And just let your awareness travel through the front and back, all the way out around your body, this funneling of energy that's vortexing through the front and back and through the back and front. And then bring your awareness a little further out. Beyond that is another field that ties into the higher part of your mind. That's your creative mental field that ties into your identity, your meaning-making part of you, the part of you that can create new possibilities, new resources for who you can be as you cleanse and reinvent. It's a gridded matrix of energy, but it has a figure 8 kind of flow or oscillation to it. So just imagine, feel, or sense this flow of energy that's around you like a cocoon that's about 3.5 feet off your body. And it's filled with this kind of figure 8 motion of gridded fluid energy in a sort of amorphous but yet gridded structure. And then just let yourself go a little further out and let yourself go beyond your mind. And what happens beyond the mind is the spaciousness of this sweetness and the brightness of soul energy. It's no longer gridded or structured. It moves into this expansiveness where it's just soft. Sometimes people will see pixelated white light with colors. Sometimes it's an amorphous kind of just vast flood of light and energy. Sometimes it's just kind of a pure translucent stillness. Sometimes it's not seen, it's just felt as like, I am beyond my mind, I exist. Take a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And then go one level further beyond the soul, beyond the individual self, beyond the illusion of separateness, and begin to expand yourself into that infinite field. These golden threads of very fine filaments of energy that just connect everything in the infinite universe. This vacuum field of energy that is full, the 0 point, filled with all the energy in every space that you need and beyond. Infinite consciousness and infinite space, all filled with pure energy and pure grace. Take a breath in through your mouth and out through your nose, and let your neck rock back slightly into extension. Let your eyes roll up just a little bit into the back of your head, looking up through that center of your eyebrows. Feel the top of your head, top of your crown, flushing with energy as the universe pours down through, and feel a sort of a vortexing spiral going through the eyebrows and meeting up in the very center of your head, right where that swirling vortex of energy is coming down from the infinite universe into the center of your brain. And this gentle vortex of energy that's flowing right through the center of your eyebrows. See where they meet, right in the center of your brain, right in what's called the crystal palace or the cave of Brahma, that third ventricle area of the deep center of your brain. And see it lighten up and brighten up and vibrate and expand. And as you breathe in, let everything melt into peace and space. And as you hold that space of the third eye, which is the coming together of that crown and the sixth chakra, we need to bring in the other part of this, which allows the true third eye to expand and connect. This is your knowing, your intuition, your absolute connection to who you are beyond the illusion of the small self is your heart. So feel and sense this vortex of energy, this slow swirl of energy going through your heart, through the back of your heart, out the front in this torus shape, this virtual kind of flow that's going around and through your heart. And then link that up as you let the energy come up through your core, up through your spine from that first chakra, that center of your pelvis, up through the central channel, through your heart. And then as it pierces through your heart, all the way up into that sixth, through the eyebrows, and all the way into the center of your brain, where there's an explosion of just gentle grace and light as everything gets bright and white. Everything expands. And the energy comes down through and washes through your crown and clears and opens all your channels, all your meridians, all your nadis, all your chakras, the whole matrix of your energy body, from the life force level to the emotional, to the mind, out to your heart, beyond to your higher mind and soul, and all the way back out to the infinite, that all the energy channels open and the space within and the space around merge into one fluid, expansive, effortless being. Breathe in and let it all out. And now begin to bring your awareness and your focus back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Move your neck, move your body, begin to gently stretch and feel how your body wants to begin to move. And we're going to move very gently now into, if you can, into a standing position, and we'll do some integration of this expansiveness into some Qi Gong to take now the Qi, the etheric system, and the whole nadis and the meridians, and start to activate that. Now it's all awake. We're going to move that with more physical activity to help get all this gunk that was clogging up the system, any heaviness, density, toxins, and gook out through your liver, your kidneys, your skin, your organs of detoxification, and just move it all out. So I'm going to stand up and you can join me, or if you can't stand up, then you can do this sitting down. But if you can do it standing up, we're going to clasp our hands together and then we're going to reach up. So as we do this, actually, wait one moment before we do this. As we do this, I want you to do the whole time the breath is in through the nose and out through the nose. And as the breath is going in through the nose, out through the nose, your tongue goes to the roof of your mouth. It completes the circuit of what's called the microcosmic orbit. The tongue at the roof of the mouth. You're going to stand with your legs about shoulder width apart, and your toes turn in a couple of degrees toward each other. And then you roll the hip joints out slightly, and you'll feel a little bit of a corkscrew kind of counter rotation happen. You'll feel yourself twist a little bit, which creates this root, and then squeeze the inner thighs together at the top where your adductors come together as if you're making the Eiffel Tower. And you'll feel yourself kind of root into the ground, and then you squeeze your butt cheeks just a little bit and weight yourself onto your quads very slightly. And that puts you in a position where you are straight over your core, you're grounded and rooted. And then you want to make sure you just imagine, feel, sense a little string or thread of energy going up from the top of your crown all the way up, pulling and hanging the whole spine so it effortlessly just hangs. And that is the position that we're going to help activate microcosmic orbit, which is the circulation of chi or energy through the spine. So your tongue is at the roof of the mouth. As you breathe in, you let your belly relax and kind of open and pooch out in this, what's called the dantian or the hara. You're going to let the belly poof out. As you breathe in, you relax and imagine, feel, sense energy coming up through your spine all the way up to the crown. And then it circulates down through where the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. And then as you breathe out, you're going to squeeze your belly in like you're pulling your belly button away from the pants or away from your shirt. And you're going to squeeze your butt cheeks and squeeze the pelvic floor like you're doing a kind of a Kegel motion. And then that's the exhale. And feel the energy go down through the pelvic floor and breathe in, relax it and let it come up, 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 up. And then as you breathe out, squeeze in the belly a little bit and squeeze the pelvic floor, squeeze the inner thighs and squeeze the butt cheeks slightly, very slightly. And as you breathe in, same thing, circulate the energy back over. And that's the breath pattern. This is not really a breathing exercise, it's an energetic flow. And the breath follows that expansion as you let the belly relax, and the compression and contraction of your belly helps it on the exhale. So that's the breath pattern. So now, clasp your hands together with this pattern going. We're going to lift up above our heads. Breathe in. And as you exhale out, you're going to go down and just hang down and come back up, breathing in, stretching up. And we're going to do 8 of each of these. That's 2 and down, breathing out. Breathe in, all the way up, feeling all these channels and meridians opening, feeling the physical body stretch and expand, and out. This is opening up all the energy centers that you've already activated. Good. Breathing out, and we're going to do 2 more. Expanding up. And last one. You want to just stay in rhythm with your body. Stay connected with your body at your pace, what feels good to you and what feels coherent and connected. And we come back to the midline. Put your hands on your hips. And we're going to do little circles with our neck here. And we're going to start with just rotating one direction. Tongue stays at the roof of the mouth. Little circles around 6, 7. Now, if you want to just stay in the flow, so you want to focus on the space, now reverse it. This is not a stretch. This is not a neck stretch. It's a very gentle flow, like a little bobblehead is wobbling, and you want to just feel the kind of figure 8 motion and a little like glide as you're in the space between the molecules. Good. And back to the midline. Now we're going to go into the pelvis. We're going to do hip rotations, and it comes from your hip joints. So your pelvis is rotating and moving, but rather than it coming from your low back, you want to bring it like you have a bowl that's sitting in your pelvis, and you're just letting it rock like water was swishing around in that bowl. So we go in through the nose and out through the nose. I breathe in as I go back and out as I come forward. We're just going clockwise. Rotations, we'll do 8 clockwise and 8 counterclockwise, 6. And just feel the benefit. This is just opening up your hips and just opening up the flow of energy. Reverse it. You know, letting the colon and the pelvic floor and the lower digestive system just get activated and energized to help this detox and help everything flow and release. 2 more. Good. And then back to the midline. Now, we're going to keep going down the body. I'm going to go to the knees now. So we're going to go Feet together, and we're gonna do little circles in through the nose as we come back and out as we come forward. If you have any knee injuries or knee restriction, just be very gentle, don't push it. It's about gliding through this range and visualizing or sensing or seeing these little circles or spirals of energy moving through all the joints, through the synovial fluid, the lymph system, oxygenating the tissues, liberating and opening up any resistance or scarring. Good. And go the other way. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Now we're going to just do little rotations with the feet. So little rotations off the ball of your foot, in through the nose and out through the nose, rotating. We're starting with the right foot, just rotating. You're feeling you're opening up the hip joints. You're opening up the knee joints. You're opening up the meridians in the bottom of your feet and in your ankles. So everything can flow, everything can balance, everything can connect. Good. And then the opposite way, rotating it the other way, little circles. Grounding off the opposite foot, still breathing in through your nose, out through your nose, still have the tongue at the roof of the mouth. Circles, and 2 more. Good. And now switch. We're going to go to the other side. Just little rotations off the ball of the foot, clockwise. Feeling the energy. It's not about a physical stretch. It's about feeling, sensing, visualizing, and being connected to the flow in the space between the molecules, the space between the joints, letting it all glide. Good. And 1 more. Now reverse it. Opposite direction. Flowing. Rotating. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And come back to the midline. And we just find this root where you're standing like we started here. So you're standing, feet are shoulder width apart, slightly squeezing together, squeezing your butt cheeks a little bit, rotating your hips out, tongue at the roof of the mouth. Energy comes up, belly relaxes, energy comes down, squeezing the belly, squeezing the pelvic floor, squeezing the inner thighs just a little bit, and relax. Let the energy come up as the belly relaxes. Good, that's the microcosmic orbit. We keep that going. And now we're gonna do something I love so much. It's shaking. So we're gonna compress and expand up the body and down the body. And you're gonna start it from the pelvis and the legs. So you're gonna bend your quads just a little bit. And then you're gonna generate some motion, like a bouncing in your pelvis. And let that bouncing come up, 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 all the way up. And then we're gonna let it come all the way down through your feet into the floor. So it's like, and then you let it all the way out through. We do 8 of these. So draw the energy up, 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 up the body, bouncing, 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 bouncing up to your top of your head, and then down on the exhale. And again. And down. And again. All the way up and down. And again. And last one, up the body and down. And now just stand for a moment and feel the benefit of this. If you've ever gone on the power plate, where you stand and it vibrates your body, it basically is based on this exercise. This is a very ancient practice of activating these sagittal planes of the body, these meridian systems that go this way. Now we're going to do a rotation, and it's going to be like a dog shaking water off or a duck shaking water off its back. We're going to generate the motion from our pelvis, root it into the earth, and then we're going to spiral it up the body. And then we go up, coiling, coiling, coiling. And then when you get up to the top, you just let it all the way back down through your legs. So you wind it up with the breath, inhale and out. All the way back down through, spiraling through your legs. And again, and up the body, all the way up and down. And again, wind it up, 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 and then shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Good. 2 more. Good. And last one, wind it, coil it up, and let it out. Good. Now stand for a moment. Remember that microcosmic orbit. In through the nose, tongue at the roof of the mouth, cycling that energy up the body and down. Beautiful. In through the nose and out. You might feel a little bit warm. You might feel your energy activated, things coming more alive. Now we're going to do another practice here that it involves rotation, and we're going to tap. So you're going to take the back of your palm, and it's going to tap the kidney area, like this. And the front of your palm will tap the front of your body. And we're going to go up the body. Now, as you go up the body, in through the nose, out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the nose, tapping the back of the neck and head, tapping the back of the neck and head, tapping the outer part of your arms. And the back hand always hits the kidney area gently with the back. And we're going to go down, down, down the outside of the legs, down the outside of the legs, and then up the inside of the legs, into the inner thighs, and even the inner groin area gently, and then tap up the body and back, in through the nose, out through the nose, gentle swinging, tapping. What's happening here, keep going, is that you're activating all the meridians of the body, and you're compressing energy into the deeper structures, which is activating the deeper marrow of the bone. You're packing Qi in a way. You're building Qi into the center of the tissues of the body, and then it's expanding outward. It's creating this deep experience of being incarnated in this body here, but yet light, resilient, flexible, open, expanded within. Good. Back. We do 3 more. Tapping in through the nose, out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the nose. Feel the rhythm of it. A little bounce, a little compression, expansion. Winding up and expanding back out. Tapping, tapping. In through the nose, out through the nose. Up, down, up, down. Feel everything lightening, getting lighter, expanding, awakening. One last time. Up, 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 and down, down, down through, all the way down. And we come back up to the midline, and we go back to that center. We go back to that root, and just feel the activity in your body. Feel the energy. Beautiful. And now we're just going to add another rotational exercise, which is just reaching up, breathe in through your nose, follow your arm down, and then follow like you're swimming. The inhale comes, I track it, so I breathe in as I come up and out, and I let the other arm just kind of go. So I always follow my one of the arms. So in through the nose and out, in through the nose and out, rotating. Now let it generate from your pelvis versus just your shoulders. Let your shoulders relax and let your pelvis generate the motion through your lats. In through the nose, and this opens up the shoulder girdle, opens up the traps, opens up the upper part of your lungs, opens your diaphragm. Good, and then reverse it like you're backstroking, in through the nose, out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the nose. Three more. And last one. Good, and come back to the center. And now we're going to end it on this one where we're going to just let our bodies hang, and you're going to let your arms start to do these like figure 8 motions. Let your neck drop, and then you're just letting your hips generate this flow, a figure 8 and kind of infinity symbol. Arms hanging, shoulders hanging, neck hanging, everything relaxing. Feel the energy go down to your fingertips. Rotating clockwise, 6, 7, 8. Now reverse the motion with your pelvis and your arms, letting it hang, letting it circle, letting it spiral. All that energy washing out of your neck and your head and your throat, down the arms, Opening up the lats, opening up the shoulders, and then come back up, all the way back up, and just feel for a moment the benefit of this system being opened up, grounded. Feel your feet on the earth. Feel that string or thread of energy from the top of your crown. Feel your spine straight, elongated, a channel, a column of energy opening up through. See that gridded matrix. Feel that gridded matrix of the life force body and all the channels open. Bring your awareness out to the space around you, out through those energy bodies, all the way out, out, out to the infinite space. Open your arms. And with your arms out, we've all seen that picture of the Vitruvian Man, that Michelangelo or Da Vinci, one of those, I think Da Vinci, right? With the arms out like this, arms out, legs, and feel how there's a perfect circle around you and a perfect symmetry of this body, this column or shaft of light through the top of your head, through your crown, all the way down through your body, through your spine. See a column, a shaft of energy going through your arms, perpendicular to that channel. See another column or shaft of energy going straight through your hips, also perpendicular to your shaft of energy going through your spine. And then see a shaft or a light of energy going back through the back of your heart and shooting out the front of your heart. Take a breath in. And as you let it out, bring your arms up over your head and just clasp your hands together in prayer position and bring them down in front of you. Acknowledging and blessing this gift that is this life and this body and this freaking cleanse you're doing. You can go ahead and sit down. All right, so Jody, thank you for having me. Thank you everybody for showing up, and I hope this was valuable for the process.
It was awesome. Thank you so much.